Superstitions, evil spirits and poltergeists await the most haunted team as we cross the border to Wales.
And this week I brought the team to a remote location in the Welsh Hills, a place where ghosts are said to lurk in every corner. Welcome to Most Haunted and Plas, Dduallt.
It is suggested that the original building, of which the main dining room and truss bedroom above are the only remaining evidence of an ancient Welsh hall dating from before the 1500s. Its name translates from the Welsh as the house on the black hillside, which locals claim has little to do with the colour of the rock from the surrounding region, but more for the evil spirits that haunt the area. Markings that are visible around the house are said to have been put there by fervent Catholics to ward off evil and to keep malevolent spirits out of the house. During the English Civil War, the house became headquarters for the parliamentary forces besieging Harlech Castle. The local belief is that Cromwell stayed here during the campaign. Graffiti carved into the wooden walls of the cellar is supposed to be the work of prisoners taken by the Roundheads during this period. Over time, the house gained a reputation as a place to avoid after dark. The occupants had turned to cattle rustling to make a living and did not take kindly to anyone appearing unannounced. It gradually fell into ruin until its restoration by Colonel Campbell in the early 1960s. Lacking a road to the house, Campbell blasted a route through the valley below and installed his own platform, track and locomotive as transportation to and from the house. The line and train are still in use with the S10E06 railway. Given the strange history of the house and local rumour of evil spirits, it's no wonder the Most Haunted team felt compelled to investigate.
In a place where death and imprisonment were once commonplace, what lies in store for us tonight? We have 24 hours to find out. The four-poster bedroom is indeed a very scary place to be, especially at night. It's thought that a particularly nasty entity doesn't like people being on the bed, as it has physically attacked sleeping guests, pulling them from their slumber and throwing them to the floor. Others have been awoken by sickening screams, which seem to penetrate the very fabric of the building. Whatever makes these terrifying sounds then tries to enter the room. The lock is slowly taken off the latch and the door opens all by itself, followed by the sudden strong smell of freesias, which also unexplainably appears in other secluded parts of the house. This is Cromwell's room, so named as it's thought to be the room that Cromwell slept in during the siege of Harlech Castle. Now, people staying in this room have been plagued by lights going on and off on their own accord. The room was rewired, but the problem still persisted, and the current family were forced to remove all the light bulbs to put an end to the nuisance. But that is no good for us, so we have replaced them. This cellar was once a prison to captured royalist soldiers during the Civil War. They were kept in damp, cold and miserable conditions, some dying, some waiting for execution. The captives carved images, which are still visible today, along with their spirits that return with stark regularity to haunt this area. Most who enter feel a strong presence around them, as though they're being watched. Many people have witnessed dark shadows and mists all over this place, believed to be the lost souls of the pitiful dead that roam this dark, damp cellar.
What more had historian Leslie Smith gleaned about the house from her researchers?
The core of the house is an ancient Welsh hall house constructed before 1500. And behind us, the most fantastic Druid woods leading down into the mists on these great high hills. It's the most dramatic place in a fantastic area. And linked with this house is one of the greatest names in Welsh history, Llywelyn the Great, and the Lloyd family that followed him and lived here in this house for 400 years. One thing's for sure, you take one look at this extraordinary house and you'll understand why people look at it with wonder. Every single room is packed with extraordinary Welsh history, and every doorway will open onto a new story of this extraordinary house on the hillside, the Black Hillside.
Given the incredible setting of the house and the stories connected with it, I was interested to know how parapsychologist Dr. Kieran O'Keefe would approach the coming investigation.
Well, here we are, Kieran, in the beautiful Welsh countryside, and we're very much on our own, aren't we?
It is, yeah, very remote. It may play havoc with the way people are going to investigate tonight, but it's just fantastic view.
Now, there are three main areas to the house that we're going to investigate tonight. But for me, the four-poster bedroom is quite intriguing because apparently there's supposed to be a malevolent entity in there, isn't there?
Yes, for me, I think the four-poster bedroom is interesting from a phenomena point of view because I think we're dealing with sleep-related phenomena. So the most impressive accounts are to do with people that have actually stayed in the room and been woken up with a jolt or have heard screams or bizarre things elsewhere in the house.
And then we've got Cromwell's room, which of course the lights switching on and off, which I find absolutely fascinating considering that, you know, the present family had the electrics all sorted, and apparently it's still can happen, so it's very strange.
It is very strange, and also having had a look at the room and seeing how you can actually switch the lights on and off, they're cords and they make a very loud click sound. So it's not an accidental thing. It's not like you could be standing in a room or, for instance, later on in the investigation, somebody actually knock a light switch. It's a very definite move. And that for me is fascinating, so I'm hoping it happens tonight.
Now this location is quite small, so I suppose we've got to be very, very careful how we conduct the vigils this evening because of sound.
Yeah, the team has already realised that if some of you are down in the cellar, you can hear noises very clearly elsewhere in the house. You can hear people talking. If people are in this room, for example, you can hear them walking around. So the suggestion is that if a vigil is conducted inside the house, that it's only one vigil at a time.
Impatient to unlock the secrets held by this strange house, the team were ready to begin our investigation. Joined by guest medium Barry John, we began with a lit walk-around to try and gauge what lay in wait for us in the coming hours of darkness. The Most Haunted team are investigating Plas, an intriguing house set in the hills of North Wales and allegedly a hive of strange and unexplained activity. Joined by guest medium Barry John, we begin our lit walk-around in the downstairs sitting room to try and get a feel of what this building may hold in store over the coming hours.
Right. This to me is a very exciting location because it's not the usual stately home or the castle or the pub. It's something different. We're in the middle of nowhere, and I am very eager to see what you're going to get.
It seems to hold so many memories as you walk through the door, and it's funny because as you walk in, it doesn't feel natural, but yet it feels very homely and welcoming. And the first thing that I was aware of when I walked through the door, Yvette, was these very perfectly lined boots as we walked through the door, as though there was military boots, being honest with you.
What, you mean boots lined up or marching or walking?
No, boots lined up.
Oh, right,
literally
okay.
As though somebody had walked in, took them off and lined them up around the side of where we'd walked in, you know, heading down towards the cellar for some reason. the foreign accent that I get with this, whether it's Belgium or Germany. I know it's somewhere on the European coastline as we're talking at the moment, or as they're talking to me at the same time. And they talk to me about as though, you know, when I walked through the door there, I wanted to stop, as though I had to wait to be admitted entrance, first of all, before I could come into this room, is the only way I can say that.
Right, OK. Admitted entrance by whom?
It was literally as though this was a quarters.
OK.
Or some sort of regimented desk or something in here, because it was literally as though I needed to stand and wait before somebody would say, please enter.
Okay.
But it was funny because I was picking up the surname that was coming through began with it was like a schnauzer or something like that, but it was the name of Frederick that was getting, or Friedrich, I don't know how to pronounce that perfectly.
Now, are you seeing this as a memory, or are these soldiers active here?
No, I'm seeing this as a memory. So this is obviously something that's happened here. So it's left some form of energy. It's left some sort of space there that's been marked by these people that visited.
Okay. You talk about this room. Is there anything active in this particular room? Is it somewhere that we could do a vigil, somewhere where we could get activity, or is it just, as you say, just a memory and we're not going to get anything? No,
I believe that we will get some activity, because what I can feel as we start talking, it's as though we're bringing it alive all of a sudden. It's as though it's waited so long for somebody to walk into here. And what I'm aware of is in the background, over in the far corner, I'm aware as though somebody's starting to try and build up an energy for us, or some form of presence.
Oh, great.
Okay, to make us aware that whatever we do will take action.
Now, you mentioned that the boots were leading down towards the cellar. Is that where you want to go now, or do you want to go somewhere else in the building?
No, I'd like to go upstairs first. I think that's where I feel a calling.
OK, brilliant. And I think we might meet Leslie Smith up there as well. Come on then. What are you getting in here? This is the room that you kind of felt you were being led to.
An amazing feel. Very different to what I was getting downstairs. Whereas downstairs was very led, very organised. Up here I want very homely, very as though this would have been somebody's bedroom or living quarters. But I'm aware, first of all, of an old lady that connects in here with us, as though she would have passed in this very room. Okay, because that's the first person that starts talking to me. If I was to give you a surname, I'd have to give you the surname of Chambers connected with this lady, and the first name would have to be something like Martha, or somewhere around Martha or Marion at the moment as I'm working.
When did she die?
Somewhere around the late 1800s. 1893, she tells me. Okay, but again, as I do that, I've also got male connections coming in again, as though this has been so many different things and different levels of a place, because I'm aware that somebody's talking to me at the moment and saying, well, there's bits that don't belong, there's bits that have been brought in from other places. So I feel as though there is items in here, and I want to say a ship. I want to say the beams belong to a ship. But I'm aware of a very strong sort of religious link coming through as I'm talking at the moment, because it's this lady that's doing this to me at the moment, and she's putting the cross in front of me as though to say, bless you, son, bless you. Okay. So this is what she's making me aware of as she's talking to me. And there's something to do with a priest connection, or some sort of, as though a priest would have lived here at some point. And I don't know whether she's talking about this room or whether she's talking about another room, but I feel very strong with this, I'm going to say Catholic link, because that's what's coming to me with the cross at the moment. It's a cross, not a crucifix. Okay.
If someone was to come into this room, as I always say, what sort of activity do you think we would get in this room? And would it be from this old lady that died in here?
It wouldn't surprise me if there was some sort of poltergeist activity or something that was going to be thrown in this room, because that's the sort of energy. It's very vibrant and very energetic at the moment as we're talking.
Right, I am very intrigued as to what you're going to pick up in here. I really am.
That's good. That's good. Now, again, this is where the big Catholic link's coming forward for me now at the moment as I'm talking, and this is where the gentleman is coming forward who I described earlier as being a priest. He immediately comes forward as though somebody would have passed in death in here. Right. Literally as though whatever they caught took the life in this very room. I'd have to talk about the name of Walter. that comes in very strongly in this room, and also the name of either Stan or Stanley connecting at the moment at the same time. And I know that, again, this takes me into the 1800s as we're talking.
Right.
Okay.
So we say died... Oh, sorry, you're listening.
No, you're okay. You're okay.
Does he stop talking?
Yeah.
Who's talking to you then?
This gentleman, this priest,
Okay.
at the moment.
Can you
But he won't give
describe-
me his name.
Describe what he looks like. Can you see him?
Yeah. If I was to describe him to you, I want to say he's no more than probably 5'4", 5'5" in height. But he's got... it's a rope, not a belt. That's the only way I can say it to you, with the dark robes on at the moment. But again, I feel as though he's connected with whatever death took place in here.
In this room?
Yeah,
in the 1800s?
As though he would have been here when the death happened.
Delivering last rites.
Yes,
you mean?
delivering the last rites as I'm talking to him.
What colour was his gown?
If anything, I'd want not brown, I want to say black.
Okay.
I want to say black.
Right.
Because it feels very much as though somebody must have done a ritual in this place before to ward off. All I can say is to ward off. That's all I'm being allowed to say.
Allowed?
Allowed to ward off.
Who's stopping you?
As though this priest was brought in at the same time to ward off somebody.
Somebody or something?
I'm going to say spirit.
Right.
To keep
so it's
spirit away.
What you're saying then, really, is a priest has been brought in here to do an exorcism?
Of some kind.
Of some kind.
Of some kind, yeah. To keep spirit away. But I want to say a negative spirit to keep them away.
You just said, I'm being allowed. I'm only being allowed. Who's stopping you? Who's doing that?
This is the priest that's telling me this because he doesn't want me to mention the word of the evil.
What? Devil?
It's him who's talking to me about this at the moment. The devil link or the evil link.
Oh, really?
And it's really as though I want to keep everybody safe at the moment.
That's what he's saying to you?
Yeah, I'm wanting to keep everybody safe on his behalf. Again, he's drawing the cross as he's talking to me.
That's very interesting. Also a little bit scary.
I hope it makes sense.
Yeah. Can you give me a time when this priest was here?
1648.
Well, that's very precise and very quick. You've got a really good link with him.
1648, very strong. He talks to me of the February time of that year at the same time as he's talking to me as well.
Fantastic.
Barry John finally leads us to the cellar where we believe Royalist prisoners were held during the Civil War, and he immediately senses its difference to the other parts of the house.
Right, completely different feel, eh?
Very earthy, very grounded is what I want to say.
Yeah.
I feel very threatened at the moment in here. As though somebody's going to come downstairs, and I don't know why I want to keep looking up there as though I could have hidden things up there, pushed things out of the way, but I want to cower.
Is this connected to when you first came in, you said that there were lines of soldiers' boots from First World War. Is this anything to do with that, or is it before or after then?
I feel as though I'm before. I really feel as though I'm before. Again, I want to talk about the 1600s, 1700s period as I'm talking to you at the moment. But again, I just feel like cowering.
Okay, so you've given us quite a lot of information. Should we see Leslie? Lurking in the corners is our Leslie all the time. Where are there you are.
Checking out the depths of the building.
Now then, you've been earwigging. What do you think to what Barry's been saying?
It's pretty good, actually, Barry, because we do know that the great siege of Harlech Castle near here, reasonably near here, and we know that we have got parliamentarians taking over the house as their headquarters, and I can also tell you that their prisoners, which would be royalist, were kept down here.
Okay.
And also the date's right. You know, the period of time you're giving is right. You're absolutely bang on. It's the middle of the 17th century, and you're talking about being perhaps the gold coins and things. They want to hide things, maybe to try and bribe people or that sort of thing. So it fits in beautifully, and that sense of panic that someone's going to find them in a minute. I mean, we're in a very remote spot, of course, but then again, it's not so remote that people didn't want to use it as a headquarters. So it must have been a very commanding and important spot. So I've been listening around there and been smiling away because the hit is very impressive, Barry.
Good.
Right, are we ready to turn all the lights off? You ready, Leslie?
Oh, I am looking forward to this.
I think there's going to be a bit
of wind blowing here. I should say, by the way, that the staff at the hotel said that they wouldn't come anywhere near here after dark. You know, you were just saying about...
Is that because we're here or because it's haunted?
It might be just I thought of all that wind blowing, I think.
Come on, let's get going.
Historian Leslie Smith's continuing confirmation of much of Barry John's psychic reading of the house is a good omen for our switch to night vision.
How cool is that?
With the house in total darkness, Leslie Smith and Kath join guest medium Barry John and myself in the 4-poster bedroom, and we all call out to the spirits and ask them to make contact with Carl, Stuart and our soundman Roger in the dining room below.
If you're in the room with us now, do something else. Throw something at us and throw something at the boys. Come and play. Show us that you are here in this house. We can't see you, but you can see us. You're aware of us, I know that. Make a loud noise with your voices. Touch one of the boys' faces. Downstairs. Throw something at us.
It's almost like somebody just did that to my face. Cut to my face.
You ready for EVP? If there's anybody here, any spirit person, please tell us your name. If there's any spirit person here in the room with us now, please tell us your name.
Let me stop that. And let me play it back and see if we can hear what they're saying downstairs, which I think we might be able to.
If there's anybody here, any spirit person, please tell us your name. If there's any spirit person here in the room with us now, please tell us your name.
So how does everyone feel? Jeff, how do you feel?
A bit disappointed about downstairs. Upstairs was really good with the loud bangs. I was really impressed with that, but I'm hoping to hear some more shortly.
Downstairs, what are you disappointed with?
Well, there's not that much going on in this room, yet when we were upstairs we could hear the banging as if it was coming from down here. You know, but I think they might get something upstairs.
Stuart, how do you feel?
I don't know, to be honest with you. It's difficult for me to explain at the moment. I'm not scared, but I'm nervous as well at the same time. What is that then?
Where did that come from?
That sounded like a marble, that.
Yes, it came from out here.
It was definitely a marble, wasn't it? It was out here.
Definitely a marble. It either went through the door or came from the door.
Well, no one out here.
Come towards us or bang the table. Make a noise. Can you affect the gentleman downstairs, please? Make a loud noise. Throw something at them again. Do something to let them know that you're here.
No, that moved. What moved? That moved.
I've got my back right.
No, that banged moved forward.
Did it?
Yes, knocked my hand off. Absolutely. Did you feel it as well?
I saw it move. Please.
Come on then.
Yeah, come on then. If you're in the room with us now, do something else. Throw something at us and throw something at the boys. Come and play.
Plas, the Act, the remote house in the Welsh Hills, has seen a veritable tide of history wash over it, and guest medium Barry John has seemingly made a tangible connection with it, as our investigation in the oldest parts of the building is producing all kinds of strange phenomena. What more will the coming hours reveal?
The band is from this.
The Most Haunted team are investigating a remote house in the hills of North Wales, Plas, Dduallt. We're concentrating our efforts in the oldest parts of the house. Guest medium Barry John, Kath and Kieran are with me in the four-poster bedroom, whilst Carl, Stuart, Jeff and Roger remain in the dining room below. Swathed in the frightening cloak of darkness, what further activity will we provoke?
Can you hear something? Is it the wind? It sounds like a baby. That's the wind, Marine. That's what I could hear. Oh, like a baby crying.
Terrible screams are heard in here.
Is that sort of as well?
In the whole of this room.
Oh! Did you see that?
In the whole of this room.
Oh! Did you see that?
In the whole of this room.
Oh! Did you see that?
Okay, so we know you're
Did you
with
get
us.
it? Did you get it?
I think I did, yeah.
If not, I think I might have.
Yeah, I probably jumped in your way though.
I think so.
Well, I got a shot of it on the latch as well.
Put it back on.
Sorry.
That was with a force, that was.
Do it again.
Somebody come in.
Was it on properly?
Somebody come into the room.
Yeah, you said. Who said
Was it like that? Was it?
No, it was down.
Was it down?
You started talking about the baby.
Leslie said,
Yeah.
I said,
There's horrible screams are heard in here, and then the door opened.
Come on then. Let's hear the screams. Where's the screams? Come forward.
So cold, isn't it?
Don't hide.
The door's open. It was shut, wasn't it?
It was shut.
It was shut. Well, it's opened.
Not good.
That's not good. Close this door, okay?
I'm going to close the outer doors now. See if they actually. Close this door now. See what happens. See if that door opens.
This now is actually becoming almost a quintessential haunted house. We're in hillsides. It's a stone cottage. We've got a wall on fire. And doors are opening. Freaked out.
Come on then. That's it. Open the door then. Lift the latch. Lift the latch. Lift the latch. Let us know that you're there. People say that there's horrible screams in this room. Show us that you're there. Prove your presence. Colonel, if you're there, bang the table.
Are you just seeing a shadow or are you seeing actual, features?
I'm seeing a shadow, but it's very hit and miss, and I don't know why. Come on. Once more. Once more. Once more. Come on, Father, come forward.
You think it's him?
Come on, Father. Come forward, tell us what you did. Where did it go?
Now that's the impressive trick here. Do it again. Open the door.
What the hell was that?
Something on the table.
No. I've just locked off a shot on you, just to see if I can get any light anomalies circling around you. But I didn't move that table at all.
I'm not near it.
I went to put my arm on it, and it lifted up, well, it seemed to have lifted up anyway.
That's good, thank you. Let's see something else. Let's hear something else. Let's do something else. Let's see the door open. Either door.
There's something that moved down there, isn't it?
Come on, Father. What did you do to get rid of them? Tell me. Tell all of us. Come on in the room. Please.
I would just say, Ave, Father, come forward and cast out the darkness from these creatures that may not clear themselves. Put your hands upon the creatures of this family who suffered so desperately, and you believe possession of the Dark One.
Sorry. Holy.
That was very good, thank you. That was very good, thank you.
Sorry. Holy.
That was very good, thank you. That was very good, thank you. Now, can you do something else? It's not that we're ungrateful, we're just very impressed. Again for us.
Sorry. Holy.
That was very good, thank you. I think you're proving that we can actually do something here. You didn't do what I asked, but that was fantastic. Please try and do something else again.
Right, okay.
Move something in the room. That was absolutely marvellous. Anything will do, a piece of furniture, just move it slightly or move it a lot, like that. Open the door. It seems to work that if I ask you to open the door, you find the energy to move something. So, open the door for us, please. Eye the door.
Father, are you in a hidden place within this building? Are you in a priest hole? Is that what you're showing us? That you can't be seen by man during the day or night unless you are brought out from the walls of this place? Are you in the chimneys? Are you up high? Did you lose your life within the priest hole here, as so many did? Is that what you're showing us? Give us evidence of the life and maybe the death of your great courage to come here to this house.
Ask him to make a noise.
Make a noise.
This is so.
If this is so, give evidence that you did come here against all the odds. You must have done if you came here after Catholicism was banned. You know what great danger there would have been. You would have possibly been hung, drawn and quartered. Well, you would certainly possibly hang or burn at the stake. Give evidence, Father. Light, bright light, flashing.
Come on, Father.
Open the door for us, Father.
Come into the room with us. We mean you no harm.
What would a prayer have been?
I don't know any.
Well, there are many, but I would say to him, Kyrie eleison, Domine eleison, Kyrie eleison, Lord have mercy. Christ have mercy, Lord have mercy. And that's the prayer of forgiveness.
It's him all the time saying to me, I will keep them at bay, I will keep them at bay.
Bless him. Bless him.
I will
He's
keep
doing
them
his
at
best.
bay.
Well, especially for the family.
I will keep them at bay.
Dominus Corpus Christi, the Master is the body of Christ. Or is it Satan? Is it the Dark Angel?
Let's go downstairs and see what the others have got up to.
Well, we were asking for the table to be banging for you.
No
just
way.
so you know, table to be
We've asked
banging,
for all
for
sorts to be
things to
banged
be
for
thrown,
you.
and someone to get slapped across the face.
That chair
Did you get
That
any
chair
of
went
it?
over.
That chair went over very violently.
Did it?
The table.
Did you get it? Did you get it?
The table.
Well, my camera was locked off on the table twice. Well, it was locked
was
off
right
on
behind
Carl,
the chair.
and both shots went over. Because the force was so great, it actually tipped the camera over, which is positioned on this minicam leg.
The truly aggressive poltergeist activity seems to suggest that someone or something is trying to make contact with us. Could it be the priest that guest medium Barry John has sensed within the house? We decide to hold a séance in the four-poster bedroom in an attempt to bring this phantom into the light. Will we regret this decision as our investigation of Plas Dduallt reaches its spine-chilling climax?
Oh! How cool is that?
Where was that?
The most haunted investigation of Plas Dduallt in North Wales is reaching its final hours. So much has happened already with violent poltergeist activity, alarming us all. But determined to make a more meaningful contact, we settle in the four-poster bedroom and prepare for a séance.
Is there
is anybody here.
Around the table, myself, Barry, Leslie Smith, Stuart, Kath and Carl join hands under the watchful eye of Dr. Kieran O'Keefe. Will the evil entity join us from the other side?
Oh, tapping.
No, that's the clamshell.
No. Thudding under the table.
All right.
Is the priest with us, do you know?
Oh,
Friend, if
the table.
Yes.
bless you, come forward, friend.
It almost feels like just
What was
out
that?
there, blue,
It's just cold.
people are standing around you.
Yes,
Yeah.
it feels like they're crowding in, doesn't it? I found myself looking around the room and expecting to see people.
I'm now
Speak.
getting unnerved. I'm
Are you?
unnerved, isn't it? Yeah.
Speak, Leslie, as to a priest as,
Yeah, you're freezing.
as they would have done in those times.
Probably could do as well. Te Dduallt, that's in Welsh. I'm saying, come to me. And dear Father, you have crossed the boundaries from the...
Oh, is that a joke?
Is what a joke?
My God, I've never heard anything like that
Where's
in
the
my
bowl?
life.
Where's the bowl?
I just
Where's the
kicked
banging, banging on the floor?
No,
That's
I
all
tell
right.
you what,
That's okay.
that is the most...
Can you put something on the floor?
On the floor, please. Somebody, a camera. Jeff, get underneath. That was a proper knock, 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 knock.
Come on, friend.
Came right from the
Right.
centre.
Come on then.
Come forward, friend.
Please knock for us.
That scratching noise, what's that? It's all right, it's windy. It's windy outside.
Not windy, my that door's just opened.
Yeah, I know, but it's windy, guys. It's windy. Sit down.
Yvette, it's not that
That's
windy.
on a latch. That door.
That's
Was
on a
that-
drop latch.
It was
Okay.
actually on the drop latch.
Okay.
There's something under my chair.
Is
All
there?
right, it's okay.
That's what. What the hell's going on?
It's all right. Remember,
Right.
we're all perfectly safe.
I'm not going to be jumping now. I'm not having this anymore. Stop being
Let me
silly.
just start.
Oh,
Whoa.
Bless you, friend.
Whoa, okay, here we go.
Bless you.
Bang louder.
Colonel, we're in your domain.
Oh my. Right under the floor.
Oh, that's scratching.
Do more. Bang louder.
Okay, keep going,
It's all right, it's all
keep going, keep
And
going.
again. And again.
What's up with us all? We've done so many of these investigations. We're all really jumpy.
Do you know, that's
Because that
exactly
bang at the
it.
beginning.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mike,
Yeah.
There's something
Bad's gonna happen.
big going to happen. It's that feeling.
Gonna be
Big breeze is coming. Come on, unlatch your door. Come in.
Come in. Oh! How cool is that?
Where was that? Where was that? Is the door open?
No, well, you know what we've done now?
downstairs.
No, but you know what we've done now?
You said come in.
Come in.
We're going.
Sit down, Stuart.
Sorry.
Come on.
What time
They're
is
in.
it?
Come
Come on, they're in, they're in. Oh, is that you, Stuart?
No, it's
Oh, and again,
And again, welcome.
and again. Oh, God, listen.
Welcome. Come on. Come in.
Oh, my no, it's right.
No, yes. You,
It's
well,
here,
Yes,
Yeah.
come on,
Now.
please. Thank you.
Come on in. Show us yourself.
Welcome.
Welcome, thank you so much.
What the that?
It's all right.
It's voices, it's voices.
It's okay.
It's voices. We need you to make a very loud noise with your voice, if you can, with your voices. I know this isn't always possible. Oh, is that the you shaking, Leslie, or the table?
No, I'm up
Okay.
here. The table's going on its
Come on,
own.
shake
I
the
know it's
table.
not always possible, please, and I know it's very hard for you. But if you could make a loud noise with your voice right in the centre of this table so that we can hear you loud and clear. Please do so now.
Eventually, we drew the séance to a close, and Ian Cash, Dr. Kieran O'Keefe and Matt Chance, our researcher, moved to another bedroom and call out for the resident ghosts. Would they catch any paranormal activity?
If the Colonel or the priest are in this room now, please could you let yourself be known to us? We mean you no harm. Can you tap? Can you appear as light? Can you show...
No, forget it. What was that?
Okay, that's too bad. Thank you very much. Is that the priest? Is that you, Colonel?
Colonel, if that is you, can you tap 3 times?
That's coming right under my foot, that.
Yeah. Colonel, if you're here with us now, I know this seems like a silly game, but I'm holding up a number of fingers. And what I'd like you to do is now tap that number of fingers. You tap for me? It definitely sounded like it was coming from underneath.
I'd have had to been tapping the ceiling downstairs.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And aren't the ceilings quite high?
No. Well, they're not that high. You could stand on a chair, but you could also get a...
All right, come in.
Drawn by the noise of the repeated rappings, guest medium Barry, John, Roger and Jeff enter the bedroom to investigate.
Up there as I walked in. Yeah, tapping in here.
Yeah, but do you want to ask out, Barry, while you're here?
Are you ready for this? Ask. Don't freak us out. What? Well, because we were having a chat saying, here we are, the 3 of us, in a vigil, you know, nothing's going to happen because it's myself and Ian. And Ian stood there and started calling out for the priest and the colonel. And we got banging.
Please, Colonel, I mean you no harm. Can you show yourself to us? Thank you.
And again.
It's a lot more aggressive now. It wasn't like that a minute ago.
Come on, and again. Colonel, is that you? Colonel?
Yeah, that little tiny creepy sound.
Yeah.
It's no coincidence it's coming right under the seance table as well.
Come on, Colonel.
Where is that in the living room? Is that on?
It's difficult to tell, isn't it?
It's below, we were working this out, this is where the big table is below
So
us.
that's stand on the table.
Yeah.
It's cold here.
Open the door again. Yes, thank you, we heard that. Can you try opening the door again?
After such an odd investigation of a truly intriguing house, I was interested to learn what parapsychologist Dr. Kieran O'Keefe made of the phenomena that we had experienced and how he would explain what had occurred.
During the investigation, a number of things happened. There seemed to be quite a focus of activity in the 4-poster bedroom. They seemed to be getting auditory phenomena that was louder than any other investigation.
And dear Father, you have crossed the boundaries from the...
Oh, is that a joke?
Is what a joke?
I've never heard anything like that
Where's
in
the
my
bowl?
life.
Aside from the auditory phenomena, of which there could be alternative explanations, the most significant thing that occurred at this particular Welsh cottage was the opening of doors.
It's all right, it's windy outside.
Not windy, that door's just opened.
Yeah, I know, but it's windy, guys, it's windy. Sit down.
However, we cannot verify that it was actually closed and fully latched. All in all, the auditory phenomena, the door moving, and some objects being thrown made it an interesting investigation. However, the phenomena didn't really tie in with what was expected. The phenomena didn't really match what eyewitness testimonies we have on record. So for that reason, I'd have to remain sceptical about the phenomena that occurred.
So, would you spend a night completely on your own in this small but formidable house? Think about it. Sleep tight.
Well, the next 5 nights will have you glued to your sofas in sheer terror as the team take on one of their biggest investigations yet when they broadcast live from Turin in Italy, also known as Satan's City. With tales of devil worship and with Turin set to home Italy's largest congregation of Satanists, you will not want to miss the live television event of the year from tomorrow at 8. But up next, the vampires are waiting for you in the moonlight.